Let's be very clear. Your inability to concentrate, it's not a moral failing. You're not lazy.
No, this isn't some feeling you can just wish away. We're talking about a physical, biological reprogramming of your brain's circuitry. And the scariest part? It's happening without your consent. And the evidence for this? It's unequivocal. We've got decades of neuroscience research showing that your brain isn't some fixed piece of hardware. It literally changes, physically, based on what you do with it. So what's the clinical diagnosis here? Well, the late Stanford professor Clifford Nass, he found that chronic multitaskers, they all think they can focus when they need to, but the data says something completely different. They've actually physically changed their brains to the point where, and this is his phrase, they're suckers for irrelevancy.
Okay, hold on. This sounds a little bit like a fancy high-tech excuse for just being bad with habits, right? Are we really saying this has nothing to do with willpower? Isn't it just me making a choice, a conscious choice to check my phone instead of doing the actual work? That's because you're looking at it all wrong. It's not about the one choice you make in any given moment. It's about the architecture of your brain, the very foundation that's been built brick by brick over time. What you're not seeing is something we call the plasticity paradox. The scientific term for this is neuroplasticity. Basically, it's the brain's incredible ability to change its own structure, its own function, just based on what you experience. And look, this isn't just something that happens when you're a kid. The adult brain is, as neuroscientist Michael Merzenich puts it, massively plastic. And this is the paradox. That same amazing flexibility that lets you learn, say, a new language or how to play the guitar, that is the exact same mechanism that locks you into rigid, almost automatic behaviors. See, once a neural circuit gets built up from repetition, your brain actually starts to crave using it. It wants to fire that circuit, making it stronger and stronger. In a way, neuroplasticity creates its own kind of determinism. So you've got this battle for resources going on inside your brain. So which behaviors are the ones that get locked in? The ones that become rigid? It's simple. The ones you practice the most. The winner is decided by a brutally simple principle.
Yeah, UCLA psychiatrist Jeffrey Schwartz has a great name for it: survival of the busiest. Think about it. The neural pathways you have for deep, focused concentration, they start to atrophy, they wither away from disuse. And the space they took up on your brain map gets handed over to the skills you are practicing. Skills like, switching contexts every 5 seconds and constantly scanning for something new. Your brain is literally getting better at being distracted because that's the muscle you're choosing to train every single day.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get this. So if you practice being distracted, your brain literally gets better at, being distracted. But how? What's the actual biological thing happening in there that makes one circuit super strong while another one just fades away? The mechanism is a substance called myelin. This is the biological process that literally cements a skill into your brain's permanent hardware. So myelin is this fatty tissue, and what it does is it wraps itself around your active neurons. The best way to think about it is like insulation on an electrical wire. It lets that specific circuit fire faster, cleaner, with way more precision. So when we say someone is great at something, whether it's a physical skill or mental one, what we're really saying is that they are well myelinated in the right circuits. And this is the absolute critical point. If you try to learn something complex while you're distracted, you're firing way too many circuits all at once, completely haphazardly. Myelination just can't happen. The signal is just too noisy. It's only through deep work, that intense, single-minded focus, that you can isolate one specific circuit and force it to fire over and over again. And that is the biological trigger for myelin to do its job. The process is purely clinical. Step 1, you isolate a specific circuit with intense focus. Step 2, you fire that circuit again and again and again. Step 3, that repetition is the trigger that tells cells to start wrapping that circuit in myelin. And step 4, the skill is now cemented into your physical hardware. You have to understand, intense focus isn't some nice-to-have lifestyle choice. It is a non-negotiable biological requirement if you want to acquire any high-level skill. All right, that is genuinely alarming. So if my brain has already been rewired for distraction, is that it? Is it permanent? What's the treatment here? Is there some kind of clinical prescription to, reverse the damage? First, we need a diagnostic, and it's a simple one. Newport puts it perfectly. If you can't stand waiting in line for 5 minutes,
or just sitting alone at a table without reaching for your phone, your brain has already been physiologically rewired. It is no longer capable of the kind of intense focus that deep work demands. Your addiction to on-demand distraction, that has to be addressed before anything else. So the prescription, it's a regimen of what you could call neurological resistance training. And let me be clear, this is not self-help, this is rehabilitation. You have to systematically wean your mind off its dependence on constant distraction. You have to force yourself to endure boredom. You have to practice doing one single thing at a time. You need to train your concentration with the same intensity you train a muscle in the gym, because that is exactly what you are doing. You are rebuilding atrophied cognitive capacity.
Which brings us to the final and the most urgent diagnosis of all.
Look, the alternative to a life of constant distraction, it's not just about being more productive. It's about living a better life. There's the science writer, Winifred Gallagher. After she was diagnosed with cancer, she discovered something profound, that the skillful management of your attention is the master key to improving pretty much every single aspect of your experience. By choosing what you focus on, you are literally constructing your reality. Her conclusion was simple. I'll live the focused life because it's the best kind there is. You have to understand this. There is no neutral. There is no off switch. Your brain is being physically rewired every single moment of every single day. It's either being shaped by the chaotic, algorithm-driven mess of the digital world, or it's being shaped by you. That's it. The choice is binary. It's relentless. So the question is simple. Who is wiring your brain? You or the algorithm?